going to take us to 4 years into a startup, and really just we're at a bit of a crossroads, right? It was just post-COVID. But we had a bit of traction. We were growing definitely in numbers, but it was a really tough time. And I had to go to the board and basically suggest some options for strategic funding. And to be honest, 4 years in, you're getting traction. The days are really full. Your team's still small. My team was 4 at the time, and one of them was part-time. And I think it just there was a lot of pressure at that point in time. And I think particularly COVID didn't help with being able to support small business owners. They were going through their tough time as well. So I think when I was preparing for this meeting, it really got me in a pickle. And you could tell I was stressed. My sort of wing woman, Sarah, she could see, like, when I use specific words, she knows that I'm stressed. So when I start going, seriously, she goes, okay, everyone take a moment. What's the real root cause of the issue here? Because there's something going on that needs to be addressed. So yeah, we're going into this big meeting. And I think at that point in time, I was really questioning whether or not we should continue the startup, to continue on with the business. Because it was getting really hard. And when you actually had this come to Jesus moment, when you're actually going, all right, if you can't find strategic options like funding for the way forward, you're going to have to close. You're going to have to finish the business. And for a founder, it's actually it's a really tough question to have to answer. And you're always looking. So we were trying to figure out 3 options, option A, B, or C. And each one of them took a lot of effort to work through. It's piles of research and piles of conversations. So I think when we were looking at this, at one point I said, this is just getting too hard. And I had a chat with my chief of staff, Sarah. She gave me the permission to pause, because if I didn't pause, I would have quit. And even just hearing those words at the time was, right now, pause, don't quit, is all I needed to hear at that point in time, because it gave me the permission to actually go, I can just stop for just even 24 hours, not think about this. Because if I don't, then I'm not going to continue being a founder. So that was one really big, really significant moment. I think having someone to talk through, I didn't have a co-founder, but I did have a chief of staff. And having someone to actually go through these challenges with you is hugely beneficial. And the other thing was, I actually reached out to an investor, a mentor, a friend, and I just talked out the options with them and got their perspective. So as a founder, it's actually sometimes hard to get independent strategic advice, but you really need to try and work hard on creating your own personal advisory board. I've always tried to do this from day one and create a team of champions and mentors around you. So I had a really great conversation with them. And I actually had all of these things in my head, but when I was talking to them, it actually made sense, much more sense. And they said, yeah, that's okay. So this, and he just coached me through what the sort of the board would be looking for, how to approach it, what sort of questions they would have. So I felt really confident that I could actually move through the challenge and just turn up at that board meeting really prepared.